First I thought quantum immortality, then I thought either Angel or somebody intervened, then I thought quantum immortality again. I'm not sure what my real opinion is, but I need you guys to watch this. Everyone has tagged me in this. Let me know what you think in the comments. The creators tagged below, by the way.
You know that theory that when you die, you just go to another dimension where you're still living? I think that happened to me. Okay, so the year is 2015. I had just graduated high school and it was the summertime and I had my first job. I was driving to work and I lived in a really rural area at the time, so it took me a half hour to get to work along just like a highway, like a 2-lane highway. There's no one else on the road. I look over at the clock in my car and it says 7 o'clock on the dot. And I'm like, oh crap, I'm supposed to be at work right now and I'm still like only halfway there. And this was my first job, so I was like kind of scared. So I remember turning down the music on the radio and kind of just stepping on the gas a little bit more. Nothing crazy, but just like accelerating. So next thing I know, I'm swerving to the left and what I see in front of me is a big field, but the road is like up here and the field is down here. So I would go flying into the field and die. So I overcompensated all the way to the right, and now I'm going off the road towards the right. And now what I see in front of me is just a wall of tree trunks right in front of me. And I'm going fast, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die. Like, I really accepted it. Like, I was like, this is it, I'm dead. But then, and this doesn't make any sense to me, maybe like if someone understands physics better than me, like they'll be able to explain this, but... Okay, so I'm veering all the way to the right. Next thing I know, my right tires are lifting up off the ground, and I'm like starting to flip to the left. Then, I guess I black out. I've never blacked out in my life, except for that moment. But one moment I was driving my car and it's, you know, tilting to the left a little bit. And the next thing I know, I am laying on the ceiling of my car and it's completely upside down. It's almost like I was supposed to hit the tree trunks and die, but instead my tires lifted and I rolled and I lived. So anyway, I'm laying on the ceiling of my car and I'm laying there like this, like in fetal position, just like as if I was placed there. Like, and there's blood all over. Like my hair is matted with it and it's like half my face is covered in blood. I'm obviously kind of freaking out and I call 911. By the way, I later compared the time of the 911 call to the time that I looked at the clock and I had to have only been passed out for like 30 seconds. I hear a voice outside my car and it's a man being like, is there anyone in there? And I put my hand on the window. He helps me out of the car and he's like this really sweet old man. He said he was on his way going to the opposite direction to go build a ramp for someone's house who had just recently gotten into a wheelchair for free. So this man was like an angel. And then when the ambulance did come, the paramedic was like, oh, are you sure you want to take an ambulance? Because like it's gonna cost a lot of money. And like 18-year-old me was like, oh, I don't want to like cost my parents a bunch of money. So I'll just go with this old guy. In his truck. Like that makes sense. So he takes me to the hospital. And by the way, all the nurses at the hospital knew him because apparently he had painted the walls of the hospital for free. Literal angel. So anyway, I get x-rays and everything and there's literally nothing wrong with me. There's blood everywhere, but there's like nothing wrong with me. No fractures, nothing. And where the blood was coming from was just like 2 little scratches, a tiny little gash, and another tiny little gash, and one little one on my hand. And by the way, I have no idea how that even happened because there was no glass in the car. Like we went and looked at it later, no glass. And I also had no bruising. So apparently I hit my head hard enough to black out and I don't even remember it, but no bruising, just some scratches. Not even like tenderness. So they discharged me from the hospital like only a couple hours later and I went on living my life and everything felt super weird. Like I'd be at home like eating dinner with my parents and watching TV and just thinking like, I'm supposed to be dead. Like how are we being so casual right now? Like I'm supposed to be dead right now. Also another weird thing was the night before my dad had sent me my great grandmother's watch that was still ticking, still working, but after the accident it stopped working.